Welcome back to Mark Carney's book club. We are on part 6 of the last chapter of this book on how Canada can build value for all. We are talking about values-based globalization, and he went through the first kind of 3 phases of globalization, and we're now going to bring it to the present. It says many citizens in advanced economies are facing heightened uncertainty, lamenting a loss of control and losing trust in the system. To them, measures of aggregate progress bear little relation to their own experience. Instead of a new golden era, globalization is associated with low wages, insecure employment, stateless corporations, and striking inequalities. A belief in free trade may be totemic among economists, but while trade makes countries better off, it does not raise all boats within them. Rather, the benefits from trade are unequally spread across individuals and time. Cross-border trade could increasingly be determined by whether countries share values most relevant to the area, such as privacy, inclusive growth, workers' rights, or climate change. By pursuing cooperative internationalism to develop platforms with other nations who share their values, nations can build a more inclusive, resilient, and sustainable globalization. The nation serves an essential economic role, but it is much more than a collection of marketplaces or a trade negotiator. Canada embodies collective ideals, including equality of opportunity, liberty, fairness, regional solidarity, and caring for future generations. We can set national goals, such as a just transition to a net zero economy or universal training so all can reap the rewards of the fourth industrial revolution. In recent years, both globalists and nationalists have too often devalued these ideals, and in the process have reinforced a narrow, transaction-based sense of nationhood in which countries either cede sovereignty to join larger markets or take it back to win trade wars. True patriotism is the opposite of such egotistical nationalism. As Emmanuel Macron stressed, by putting our own interests first with no regard for others, we erase the very thing that a nation holds dearest, and the thing that keeps it alive, its moral values. It is the president of the European Union, Donald Tusk, said at the UN on the same day that Greta Thunberg spoke there. History shows how easy it is to transform the love of one's homeland into a hatred towards one's neighbors. How easy it is to transform pride for one's culture into a contempt for the culture of strangers. How easy it is to use the slogans of one's own sovereignty against the sovereignty of others. True words. And to wrap up this last chapter, I'm just going to read the last couple paragraphs here for you. Advancing patriotism by reinstilling common purpose, ideals, and values in international affairs is integral to building opportunities for all Canadians. We need a new form of international integration, one that is focused on outcomes and that maintains values and preserves sovereignty in its truest sense. That is the highest example of institutions adapting to achieve their purpose. There should be no doubt. These adjustments to institutions will have to be as deep as the phenomena that revealed the fragility of the existing order and as vast as the reordering of the geopolitical landscape currently underway. Nations can only navigate and prosper in these cross currents if they are grounded in values. Canada cannot sustain the openness we need for our prosperity without the kind of domestic initiatives that this chapter has detailed to reinforce the values of fairness, responsibility, resilience, sustainability, dynamism, and above all, solidarity. It is essential that the process of developing and implementing those initiatives is as inclusive as possible. It is a task that should be approached with ambition and the 7th value, humility. And it is with humility that this book will now conclude. So that's it. That's all the chapters. There is a conclusion that I will go through next, and it is on humility. So thanks for joining. I really think it's important that people who are unsure about Mark Carney or have heard about his book but want to know what it's about can, kind of binge watch this. That's kind of the idea. So I hope you share it and stay tuned for the conclusion.